Good evening, everyone. I'm Mike Martorello. I'm the editor at the Herald Republican. Welcome to our event tonight. I'm going to turn it over to our CEO, Lou Phelps, and she's going to tell you what it's all about.
Thank you, Mike. Welcome, everyone. What a great turnout tonight. Welcome to the Herald Republicans 2019 Municipal Elections Debate Forum this evening. As Mike said, my name is Lou Phelps, and I serve as CEO of KPC Media, publisher of the Herald Republican, and 17 other newspapers here in the greater Northeast Indiana. I'll serve as the moderator of this evening's event. Our sincere thanks to Trine University for providing this wonderful venue and this educational experience for some of its students, a number of whom are with us here tonight or watching live stream as an educational experience. We'd also like to especially thank Jennifer LaRose and the students from the Christian Campus House who are helping us record and live stream this event. KPC has held similar events in our other counties where we publish daily newspapers. Tonight, the candidates for the mayor of Angola are participating in a real live stream debate. They will be speaking after we've invited a few candidates from some of the other contested races here in Steuben County. And we want to kick off tonight with allowing Lloyd Bartels and Mary Vale to come up and each talk to you for 3 or 4 minutes about their candidacy for the position of town council for the town of Hamilton. Would Mary and Lloyd come on up? Come on up, great. Hi, how are you? Hey, Lloyd, come on up. Great. Why don't we start off with you, Mary? And you have 3 minutes or so. Amanda's our timekeeper here. And when you're down to about the last 15 seconds, she'll try to wave at you and get your attention before we have to cut the mic off.
Okay.
We'll
Boy,
let
that'll be
Mary
tough.
we'll let Mary go. This is not a debate. We've just invited them to share a few words about why they're running for town council and why they think they should have your vote. Mary?
Well, thank you, Lou and Mike and KPC. I appreciate everyone being here and giving us the opportunity to talk about Hamilton and why we love it so much. My name's Mary Vale, and I am seeking a 3rd term on town council in Hamilton. I moved back here to live in a small town, be near family, and you can make a difference in a small town, and that's what we're doing. As a council person, I've had the opportunity to work on some awesome projects in Hamilton. Our Parks Department has grown exponentially over the last 8 years. We've put in new pickleball courts, basketball courts, a new ADA compliant, state-of-the-art playground system. We've got Fish Creek trails that continue to get better and bigger every year. We've got plans for a new dog park in the spring of 2020. We're getting ready to put out the schematic plans for a new beach project that we're going to totally overhaul our public beach that anybody is welcome to come to. We're going to put in new year-round restrooms, outside showers, shade structures, seating, things like that. A new paved parking lot that makes sense with handicap parking spots, golf cart parking spots, it's even horse and carriages. I have worked, Brent and I, our town manager and I, have worked together closely this whole time. I spearheaded a group and brought some public and private sector businesses together so we could put a public docking system and ramps that are ADA compliant. So people that come to the lake for the day have access to our downtown businesses. And we have found that it's been very helpful and people have appreciated it because a lot of times if somebody's in a wheelchair, they can't always get down. If they're visiting somebody, they can't always get down to their dock and take a ride on the boat. So we have found that this has been an added side bonus to that. We've also just last year purchased a new fire truck for our volunteer fire department. And if anybody's familiar with fire departments, they're not cheap. So, while on council, I also worked hand in hand with the town manager and working with our industries. A couple years ago, before they opened the new Enterprise Center here in Angola, we put together, we brought our industries together, we brought Ivy Tech together. Is that 15 seconds? Together to find out what the needs were of our industries. And we put together training sessions. We facilitated that out at the town hall so our industries could get the appropriate training for their employees. Okay, thank you.
My name's Lloyd Bartles. I'm running for town council because I would like to see some improvement in housings for the younger people. We've got a lot of expensive homes, but we have no homes for families with small children, and our schools need the students bad, so I would like to see that happen, and I've searched several different areas for housing projects, and now we have to get elected to go pursue it further. Thank you.
Thank you so much, both of you. Thank you to, let's thank everyone. Thank them both for coming and speaking tonight to the public. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Next, we were going to have the town council candidates from the town of Orland speak if they would like to. Did anyone come tonight? No, they didn't. Okay, well, they were invited. So we're going to move on to our debate. Would you put our name tags up? If Joe and Richard will come on up. And as they're coming up, let me just review our rules and procedures tonight for our debate. Our press panel tonight, who will be asking the questions, are Mike Martorello, editor of the Herald Republican, and Lisa Long, editor of the Greater Fort Wayne Business Weekly, a longtime Fort Wayne journalist. In each race, the candidates will be allowed a 2-minute opening remark and then a 2-minute closing remark. They have flipped a coin to decide who will go first. Whomever goes last in the opening remarks will be first in the closing remarks. Our panel has prepared questions for each race using questions submitted by the public and generated by the Herald Republican's editorial staff. They have been reviewed by the company's editorial board. However, additional questions will be accepted tonight during the debate. If you have a question that you'd like to see answered, raise your hand, wave, and Dave Regas, wave to the crowd. We'll come get it from you. He's got paper and pencils. They'll bring it, Holly will bring it on up, and we will do our best to get as many questions in as possible, to juggle different topics of interest without duplicating and working within our time parameters. However, I will say if your question is very nasty or an obvious tee-up for a certain candidate, it probably will not be used tonight. So try to ask questions that are fair and equitable and really are good cause for debate. For each question, the candidate will, who goes first in responding, will have 1 minute. Amanda is our timekeeper. And then their opponent will have 1 minute. And then whoever spoke first will have a chance for a 30-second rebuttal, so that in that way, no one is able to say something and their opponent cannot respond. Our timekeeper will signal each of you when you are down to 15 seconds, and wave vigorously if you're going over. Okay, we'll certainly let you finish your sentence. We would certainly ask that there be no heckling in the audience, and for supporters of candidates, please hold your applause to the end so we can get as much as possible in this hour debate. This debate is being live streamed on the Herald Republican's Facebook page and on KPC's YouTube channel. And of course, complete coverage of the debate will be in upcoming editions of the Herald Republican. Starting off tonight will be Joe Hyson, and Joe will do his opening remarks. Joe?
Thank you very much. I'm Joe Hysong, and I'm running for mayor in the city of Angola. Almost 20 years ago, I moved to the community, fell in love with my wife, fell in love with her family, and I really fell in love with our community. This is the moment that I've been waiting for since I first uttered the words, I'm going to run for mayor. Our family has invested heavily in our downtown to make it a great place to spend time. And we all love what the mayor's done in our community. He is, with the infrastructure and all the nice stuff that he's done, we applaud what he's done. But I believe under my leadership, it can be so much more. We have empty storefronts down there. We have businesses that are refusing to invest in their own businesses. And so it's not a vibrant community all the time. And I believe that with leadership, that we can definitely see that vibrancy really turn up the heat in our downtown. And I'll address and fix both of these issues. Another area that's close and dear to my heart is the problem that our area is facing in childcare, in early childhood development. It's been a hot topic in our community in the last couple of weeks. But it's really been something that's become a tipping point that's happened over the years, okay? We've known it's been a problem, but I believe as mayor, or not even as mayor, I promise you that I will champion this as a cause that we need, because we need to create a culture in Angola of childcare and early childhood development. We can rally the support of the hospitals. We can rally the support of the university. We can rally the support of our local non-for-profits, local businesses, the churches can all get together, and we can create something that nobody's ever seen before. And also, the last piece that I want to talk about is this sidewalk on North Wayne Street, guys. The city said it can't be done. I challenge you. Drive up and down North Wayne Street, look to the west. You're going to see businesses that the city is forced to put sidewalks in. I call them sidewalks to nowhere. I'm Joe Hysong. I'm running for mayor. It's time for a change.
Thank you. And now, Richard Hickman.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you, KPC, for arranging this debate tonight, and Tryon University for opening up Fabiani Theater. My name is Dick Hickman, and I have been the mayor of Angola for 18 years, and because of that, I do have a record to run on, and it is a record that I am proud of. Angola is growing, and it is growing at a sustainable rate. Our shopping centers are basically full of retail and commercial businesses. We have 7 residential areas that have started since I became mayor, and they are either full or almost full now. Fortunately, we have a 135-lot residential subdivision getting ready to be developed just north of the fountains. We've had 3 large apartment complexes built in our community, and we have another one of 122 units that we're getting ready to be built out west of town by the Terrace Ridge. The Angola Innovation Park has been developed and already has a hotel in it. Our industrial parks are already filled. Our downtown revitalization has been working, and people are reinvesting in our downtown again. Our unemployment rate is below 3%. We have worked with Tryon University, Cameron Hospital, and all our businesses and industries in our communities to help them grow, and they have been able to bring hundreds of jobs to our community over the last several years. People love Angola. They feel safe in Angola. They love the services we have here, and they want to live here, and businesses want to be in Angola. The city of Angola is a $19 to $20 million a year business, and the mayor is the manager of that business. And I am proud of what my administration, our city employees, city elected officials, and the citizens of this community have done together to make our community better every day. That is the type of progress that you have seen over the last 18 years, and this is what you can expect to continue to see for the next 4 years if you elect me as mayor of Angola. You know me. You know what we can do together. I have demonstrated proven leadership, and I have delivered results to this community.
Thank you. Our first question will be to Joe, and it will be posed by Mike Martorell.
We're starting off with easy stuff, Joe. All right. What is the top issue facing Angola, and how will you address it if you're elected mayor?
In my heart, it's definitely childcare. Here's what I believe. I believe that until we address this issue of childcare, I have children. All you guys have children. They're not going to move back to our community if they do not have affordable, safe childcare. They just won't do it. No affordable, safe childcare means no growth. Okay, right now our schools, 350 kids less over the last 10 years in our public schools. Okay, that's a fact. Why? So our community might be growing, but it sure's not growing with children. We have to provide something for them. It's both a moral and an economic issue. People will not move back into our community unless they have a place to put their kids. So we can have all the best paying jobs in the world. We can have the best houses in the world. But if we don't have child care, it's not going to grow, folks.
And Dick.
We have been talking about child care for a while. It started last spring. It's a problem in all northeastern Indiana. In fact, Northeast Regional Partnership is having a meeting in November about early child care and what we need to do in our community. It's costing millions of dollars a year by not having this type of child care. I just had a meeting today. It's the second meeting we've had. It included the university, the hospital, it included the Steuben County Foundation, private sector, and the Steuben County Economic Development Corporation. And we've been reaching out to all these units and other areas about what they're doing, and we're finding out this is a tough one. This is going to be a long haul to get this taken care of, and we are going to be in it for the long haul with all these people. Good people are working on this now.
Would you like to rebut?
Just briefly, I've been going to community needs assessment meetings here in our community for the last 5-10 years. It's been the topic every single time. 10 years it's been in the talking. The reason that the fire's been lit is because of what happened at Fairview. Everybody in our town realizes it. We've turned our back on it.
Okay, great. Our second question, we'll begin with Dick, and Lisa Long will pose the question.
Why should the residents of Angola vote for you?
Well, I believe that I've shown over the last 18 years that this community is moving forward. We have great services in this community. When I've been going door to door with my wife out there campaigning, people say, I love this community. I feel safe in my community. I love what's going on, not just in our downtown, but all over. Our services we have are second to none. Engineering consultants come to our community, and when they get into our community, they brag every time just about how our streets are in our great city here. They love what is going on, and everything is moving in a progressive way. There are a lot of things we look at: workforce development. We look at the economic development. We look at child care. We're just involved in things every day. But the number one thing that we do is we take care of the public safety and health.
And Joe.
Thank you very much. I agree. We've got great cities, and we've got a great city, and we've got a lot going on here for us. But the reason why you should elect me your next mayor is, as I've walked the community, knocked on every single door, I think it's about 5 or 6 streets that we haven't hit yet, my wife and I, and everybody says it's time for a change. I mean, the doors that we've knocked on, people are crying out there saying it is time to change the leadership in our community. Somebody that's willing to run hard. Guys, I am a hard runner. I am somebody that I believe that the speed of the leader determines the speed of the pack, and I will run hard for you, and I can promise you that.
Did you want to rebut?
Well, I can just say we're knocking on the same doors, and we're not getting that kind of reception. We're getting great reception of how people love this community. And I'm not sure what's happening here, but I keep waiting to hear that from people that we need a change, and they come smiling saying, we love this community.
Okay, our next question, Joe will start off.
Sure.
And Mike will pose the question.
Joe, Angola's 2020, Downtown 2020 Revitalization Plan was presented to the community in May of 2008. With the year 2020 just a few months away, how do you envision that Downtown Angola 2020 plan moving forward in 2020?
Well, we've invested a lot of money in our downtown. We have actually we've approved in our budget this year another $1 million to be spent on downtown revitalization. We've budgeted to spend $350,000 on painting our bridge that goes over across I-69 there at the 20 corridor, and that's why I keep going back to what does the downtown look like? It looks accessible. It looks accessible to people who walk from the downtown to their jobs out at Myers. They walk to their jobs at the Burger King. They walk to their jobs at the McDonald's. And we're not providing a sidewalk for those folks on North Wayne Street, okay? But we make other businesses put their sidewalks in as a city, but we're unwilling to do it. We're unwilling to put a sidewalk in. We say we don't have the money. We can't do it. I don't understand it. That's what our people are asking me for. Get a sidewalk out there.
Dick.
Well, we have been working on that sidewalk for a long time, and your father-in-law knows that as our former engineer, how many times we've gone down to NDOT and asked them, Plan Commission in the late 80s, or late 70s, early 80s, wanted to put sidewalks in out there, and the NDOT would not allow that to happen. It's their right of way, and they said no. We've been going back to them about every 5 years and saying, hey, we want to get sidewalks out on North Wayne Street. Finally, this spring, when our engineer went down with us, we talked to him about how we need to move the water out, our water line out from under the road there, so that when it breaks, we aren't tearing up the road all the time. They finally said, you know, this would probably be a good time, next time we repave that highway, for you to move that over and put sidewalks in, and we might even be willing to help you pay for it.
Did you want to rebut that, Jim?
Well, the only thing I'm saying is that if it's been 10 years, 20 years, 40 years, guys, 40 years is too long for us to, because our businesses have always been able to get a sidewalk in. They're putting a brand new bank out there right now. Right in front of that bank, they're putting a sidewalk in. So there's something broken there where between NDOT and our city and how government works. Believe me, as your leader, I will get a sidewalk put on that street.
Okay. Our next question, Dick will be leading off, and Lisa will be posing the question.
The cooperation between Angola and Steuben County and our outlying towns has ebbed and flowed over the years. As mayor, how important would cooperation with Steuben County and the towns be for your administration?
Well, cooperation has been extremely important, and it has been getting better as we go along. We actually partnered with Fremont in America's Best Communities, and made the top 15 in nationwide out of about 440 cities around the nation. So we understand it's extremely important. If something good happens up at Fremont, it's good for Angola. If something bad happens at Hamilton, it's bad for Angola. We understand that we have to work together, and that's why we're working more in the regionalism as well as the county together.
Joe?
Thank you very much. I agree, the statement that what's good for Angola is good for Steuben County, what's good for Steuben County is good for Angola. I truly do believe that that's a true statement. Working back and forth with our commissioners, I mean, Angola is probably it's the seat of our county. And so we need to do a better job working with them. We need to define what the issues are. We need to grab a hold of one issue. And I'm not, if the issue is the sidewalk on North Wayne Street, if the issue is our child care, let's fix a problem. Let's fix one issue and say, hey, we have fixed this issue. Guys, if we're painting a bridge for $350,000, okay, to say welcome to Angola, and we don't have the money or the resources to take care of another problem, come on. That's not how we run a city.
Well, unfortunately, that is how we run a city, because you can only put certain dollars in certain places. But we have partnered with the county several times. They partnered with us to help keep Univertical here several years ago. We partnered with them on 200 North and widening that road there, and then we partnered with them on the bike trail between the city of Angola and Pokagon State Park. So we have worked with them well, and expect to keep working with them well in the future.
Okay, our next question, Joe will be starting off, and Mike will pose the question.
Angola's wastewater treatment plant still experiences bypassing issues, sending effluent that's not completely treated to Pigeon Creek and its chain of lakes west of Pleasant Lake during times of heavy storms. Do you support additional investment in the progress that's already been made at our wastewater treatment plant, or other measures to address this problem?
So I don't think that we need more investment in our wastewater treatment plant. They do an incredible job out there. You know, I think Craig's phrase, worm drowners or something like that, he uses this phrase. We have had some storms this year that are some storms of the century, you know, but if the thing that I think we miss is the opportunity for our wastewater treatment plant to shine, to let the people in the community know exactly what they're doing, okay? I mean, there's times where the water just runs over, but no, I don't think we have a problem there at all, no.
Well, I agree. We've gone from over 200 CSOs a year, and thank you, former Mayor Bill Selman, for recognizing that and starting to fix that when he was still in office. like Joe said, our CSOs now come when we have unbelievable rain events, and we're down to 98% separated. There's only about 2% left. Our people are doing a great job out there, but they're open to people coming out. We've announced several times, if you want to come out to our sewer plant or our water plant or any of our plants, please come out and visit. We'll take you for a tour. I think it's fascinating. It doesn't sound like it till you get on this side. It really is fascinating to see how everything works.
Joe, did you want to?
It is. It's a tour that I think everybody in the city should have to take at least once in their life and go out there, you know, and because I would say what we're putting into the creek out there, guys, it's incredible. You'd swim it right at the bottom of it and not even feel bad about it, I don't think. You know, we make clean water every day at our sewer plant.
Okay. Our next question Dick will lead off, and Lisa will pose the question.
Another city services question. Angola has a great park system. How soon will we see development of the Center Lakes area as a city park with you as mayor?
Well, we're actually working on that right now. That has been turned over to another group, and they're getting ready to develop what they can out there, and then they want to turn it over to the city probably 3 to 5 years down the road. We've talked with Nate Simon, who is heading that out there, and we both agree we want to keep that as natural as can be so people can walk back in nature, and when they get back there, they can take their old fishing pole with them and throw a line out, and kids that may not have a chance to go to other lakes and do fishing or whatever, things like that, they can do it right here in the city of Angola.
Joe?
Yeah, we love Center. We love all of our parks. I believe, though, that you know they talk about quality of life. They talk about quality of place when they're talking about why do people want to come here. I'm all for parks, putting more parks in, put them all. You know, let's spend money on parks. It's a great way to drive traffic to our town, to drive new families to our town. But I believe that we need to have a park system that is fresh, that is vibrant, that a place where kids are like, man, I can go skateboard there. Man, I can go ride mountain bikes there. Man, I can go there. That I think we need to create something for our kids that is second to none. There's plenty of, there's plenty of places that kids can fish in Steuben County right now, 101 lakes. I don't know if I'd invest all of my money in putting a new boardwalk around that lake. If somebody else wants to do it, they're more than welcome to. I don't know if I'd spend my city money on that.
And Dick, did you want to?
And a couple of things we're looking at, we have Friendship Park out there, but we're looking at a couple of new ideas on parks. One of them is for I don't know you call it necessarily handicap accessible, but people that have, or young kids that have handicaps can go out and enjoy it, but kids that don't have handicaps can enjoy the same thing, and they're doing the same thing for seniors these days. So we want to be looking at those things to add to our parks so the young and the old can enjoy what we have.
Okay, our next question, Joe will start off, and Mike will pose the question.
Much discussion has been held the past few years about possibly forming a fire district in partnership with Pleasant Township, or other solutions, again, partnering with Pleasant Township. Do you ever envision this happening? And do you favor partnering with the township to put a satellite fire station at the Pleasant Township building in the heart of the Lake Country?
So 2 pieces of that equation. There's a financial piece to the equation, and then there's a people piece to the equation. Do we need fire rescue at the lake? Absolutely we do. So we can just throw that, that answer's already there. The situation is how are we going to fund it, and how are we going to staff it, okay? What we need to be able to do is work together with Pleasant Township, and we need to come up with a plan that's not going to put any more burden on the city of Angola. And I believe, speaking to a lot of the guys at the fire department, they have plans, they know how to make it happen, along with Mike, that there's conversation out there. We can do this without it becoming a new burden, a new tax burden on our community.
And Dick?
Yeah, I believe it can happen too, and hope it will. We've been in talks with Pleasant Township, how we're going to move forward. But right now, we are in the middle of a study of our whole fire system, and as well as our police department, as to where we need to be looking to maybe move this fire department, what kind of equipment we're going to need to be able to staff it, what it's going to cost for hiring more people, because it's getting tougher and tougher to find volunteer firemen anymore, simply because of everything they have to go through to achieve fireman status. So, yeah, I think it can happen. We're in great talks right now, and looking forward to some more.
And Joe?
I have nothing else.
Okay, great. Okay, our next question is, Dick's going to head us off, and Lisa will pose the question.
This has been touched on tonight, but what sort of a letter grade would you give Angola streets, and would you support providing sidewalks all along North Wayne Street?
Yes, we support sidewalks all along North Wayne Street. Have been trying to get it done for many years. And like I said, NDOT has finally agreed that we can do that. It's not going to happen until they repave again in probably 2006 or 7, but it's just more than that. We're going to be moving our water lines out from underneath there. This is going to be probably, just guessing, a $4 or $5 million project. So we need to be able to take time on how we're going to save the money to do this, because we like to pay as much as we can cash for things. And we need our streets. I give them an A. We need just a little more to get it, more money to get an A+. I give our street department an A.
Yeah, I would agree. We've got great streets here. One of the things that, that Dick did mention tonight was that making sure that we're not putting streets down over top of problem issues. And, sometimes I know listening to the guys as they're working on their budgets and things like that, they feel like that they're in a position where they have to do things, they got to do things or ought to do things, or they get to do things. All right? And as a leader, what I do is I go out there and I ask them to dream. What are the things that you want to get to do? Okay? And then I want to provide the services and the resources so that they can do the things that they get to do, as opposed to always having to do, oh, we got to cut another hole in North Wayne Street because we haven't fixed this problem yet.
Dick?
This started because when the water lines were first put in and North Wayne was first put in, the water lines were not under the highway. As they expanded North Wayne Street in width, they went over our water lines, and that's what created the problem there. We do 5-year plans, folks. We don't just throw out there something every year new. We know what's coming, and everybody kind of gets their wish list taken care of somewhere in that 5 years.
We're going to add another question in here that just came in from the audience, and it's from a student, and we certainly want to make sure it gets asked. There's been a lot of attention recently about climate change. What can you do as mayor of Angola to address the climate concerns of so many? I'm going to start off with Dick. We're sort of sneaking an extra question in here. But climate change, from a student here in Angola, what can you do as mayor of Angola to address the climate concerns of so many?
Well, as you have all noticed, we have been getting these rain events, and the weather's just changing, whether it's going to be a long-term or short-term. So we have been going to climate meetings around the state, and these are put on by Indiana University, Purdue University, Notre Dame. These are scientists that are studying everything. What we're going to have to start looking at is the way we do things differently in development, on how we drain stuff away from houses, because that seems to be a lot of the problem when we get the rushes is the water that gathers up around homes. When they were first developed, that drainage was good, but with the new types of rain we're getting and the rain events we're getting, we got to start looking at things like that, as well as to what we're going to be using in our vehicles for energy and so forth, as well as City Hall and all our other buildings.
Joe?
So, two pieces of climate change or ecology. Number one, I think we're doing a great job in the city with recycling. We're doing a great job making sure that our people are able to, we continue to talk about that. I would challenge everybody to be recyclers. I would challenge everybody to make sure that they're, using good LED lights. Let's change your light bulbs out. I think that if we did a $1.3 million renovation just this past year at the YMCA, and in doing so, we went and put in all new lighting fixtures. We've seen our cost of electricity drop drastically, and I think as a city, that's something that we need to do also. We need to look, and we need to talk, and we need to make sure that we're rewarding the people that are doing those things.
And Dick, any other comment?
And we have already been doing that. We've changed all the light bulbs out in City Hall and over at our Public Safety Building and just about every building we have. But again, we're looking at our other energy sources of what we can do to save money and plan for that down the road, because it's not going to be cheap. Like a lot of things, folks, we're all going to have to look at things different. It's not going to be cheap.
Okay, our next question is Joe will start off, and Mike will pose the question.
Okay, and we're also going to add in an audience question along with this question. Angola rarely, if ever, appears on lists that tout Indiana's safest cities. How would you rate Angola's safety? And from one of our audience members, she says, as a single woman in Angola, I feel unsafe, as I feel most women here do. What would you do to make people feel safer in our community?
Sure. Two things. I'm currently going through the Citizens Police Academy, which is incredible. If anybody has a free Thursday night, it's a 10-week program. I'm giving just pure props to it. It will change the way you think about your police department, and you'd really actually want to invest a little bit more into your police department. You know, there's times where our county and our city police department, we don't have enough people on the streets. I mean, we literally do not, and our police officers are working overtime just so that they can do police work, not just stopping, you know, or doing the detective work that they have to do, but they want to be able to go out and they want to stop the crime that's taking place. There's a lot of things that are happening with our judicial system that we need to work through, but as I believe that we need maybe one or even two more officers on our police force right now to really make Angola a safe place.
I do believe Angola is a safe place, and I think we do a great job, and I thank our council for this, as well as our clerk treasurer for helping us get the money so that our police force, as well as our fire department, has the best opportunity of training as they can get, as well as the best equipment they have available to them. The safety part isn't just about the citizens out there. The safety is also about our police officers and our fire department and our first responders. And I think we do a good job of making sure they have the training available to them, as well as the equipment needed so that they could do their jobs efficiently.
Joe,
I
rebuttal?
appreciate that. And the one thing I would challenge the mayor on is last Thursday night I was at the community, at the Citizens Police Academy, and we were borrowing a system from the Impact Institute. We were borrowing a system that our police force does not have. And I don't mind having some collaboration, but our guys need the tools in order to become excellent in their skill sets. So I think that if anybody should be borrowing a tool, it would be the high school borrowing something from the city as opposed to us having to borrow it to train our police force. So that's my thought.
We're going to do a quick follow-up here. One of the questions coming in from the audience, guys, was, as a single woman in Angola, I feel unsafe, as I feel most women here do. What would you do to make people feel safer in our community? Joe, why don't you start off and then let the mayor respond?
Sure. I would say the one area that I think that if there's a safety issue, I might say it's lighting, you know, because some of our side streets don't have quite as much lighting as our main streets might have. As I drive up and down them, it gets dark quick, and I think that lighting is an issue. It hasn't been something I've really put a ton of thought into, but I believe that our lighting, we could definitely address the lighting issue on some of our side streets.
Dick, what's your thoughts?
I would say, I would ask that young lady to please go and talk to our police force. Tell them what your problem is, what your fears are. I really feel this is a safe community. I think the numbers will back it up. It's a safe community. Things do happen. There's a lot of people driving through our community don't stay here that can cause problems. But I really would say, please, if you have a problem, if you're here and you feel that you aren't safe for whatever reason, let us know. Let us know why you feel that way, and we'll see what we can do to address that problem.
Any rebuttal?
No.
No. Okay, great. Okay, our next question, Dick will start off, and Lisa will pose the question.
Our next group of questions is about economic development. What role do you see the city playing in developing and retaining downtown businesses?
Well, I think we do a good job in giving tax abatements where warranted to our businesses downtown. We have fascia grants that are really helping our downtown, helping the people that own businesses down there to be able to fix their stores up a little bit, because it is expensive trying to keep those old stores looking looking good. The arts, I think, is going to help with the economy in our downtown, our alley arts and the Arts Council and the other things that they're doing in our downtown. I think that's really going to help the economy in our community, not just downtown, but all around our community as people come to and see our sculptures and our different arts that we are starting to promote.
As a business owner of downtown investing, so now we have 4 storefronts. And the reason we did it is because we love our city. I mean, that's why we have it. And we're passionate about making the downtown even a more lively place. I would definitely say that I would hold our local business owners, maybe raise the bar a little bit of what I expect from them. I would work with them. I think I would actually train them and do some teaching of how to have successful businesses. And then we would set some goals, and then after I'd set the goals, we would hold them accountable to the goals that they set, because that's what leaders do. They set goals, and then they hold people accountable, and then things take place. You cast a vision, hold them accountable.
And Mr. Roboto?
Well, the downtown, we all live in neighborhoods. We all have our neighborhoods. The downtown is everybody's neighborhood, and we want all of you to feel comfortable there. We want all of you to come down and enjoy our downtown, because this is your neighborhood. Talk to us about what you'd like to see down there, and we will see what we can do to help make it happen.
Okay, we're going to add another question in here from the audience, and let's start with Joe. Do you see the airport as playing a future role for the growth of Angola?
Absolutely. I think that for us to be able to grow our infrastructure, for us to be able to grow a big business into our community, if we really want to go after a business that, that maybe has 300-400 employees, and we want to grow our place, we're going to have to be able to bring the people in, and the people that are making those decisions are going to want to fly here. So we're going to have to work hard to find, how that works, because. But I think that our county works well, but I think that we need, that it's part of our community, and we need to keep it.
Dick, your thoughts on that?
And I agree, the future of airports is going to be very important to every community around, and it's probably going to take a group to take a look and say, we need longer runways, and this may mean having to plan out ahead of time, and we may be needing to look at moving our airport somewhere else. I don't know that for sure, but I think that's a possibility if we're going to get some of these larger planes in, corporate planes in, that we want to get here, and I think would be needed here, is to maybe take a look at coming up with an airport in a different location.
Joe, any rebuttal?
Yeah, finally, I think that's one of those areas where I think I would work well as a leader in bringing collaboration with the county, bringing collaboration with the airport board and the city, all working together, because there has to be one vision for it, and there can't be a lot of fighting back and forth, or it's just not going to work. And so I think that's where leadership's going to come into play, and I'm going to help facilitate that.
Okay, our next question, Mike will pose the question. Joe, you'll start off, and Mike?
The city often uses Steuben County's lakes in its marketing efforts, but the lake people and the lake visitors tend not to go any farther south than Meyer or Walmart. How does the city attract lake visitors into the downtown?
I think the real only way to attract lake visitors to downtown is to create an environment that lake visitors want to come to. Because I know 2 years ago, my wife and I got together with a group of other people in the community, and we put on the Live It Up fundraiser, and there was no room on the square. The city does a great job with the cruise in, and you can't find any places on the square. And me and the mayor have both had the conversation that, man, we need one of these once a month. Well, that's what we need. We need one of these once a month. We need somebody to run point and make it happen once a month. I don't know whether we bring the, bring our the farmer's market to downtown and close 20, once a month, so we can have a farmer's market downtown rather than at the other building. Sure, there's different ways that we can drive traffic to downtown, and it's going to drive people into our community.
And I think June Julian does a great job in advertising our downtown as well as our whole community. And I think more and more people from the lakes are coming to our downtown. You come down and look around and see a lot of people walking around in the summertime. And we do have the farmer's market down there on Wednesday mornings over by the restrooms, and I think they're doing a great job, and we love seeing more things like that happen. The Downtown Angola Coalition, I think, is doing a great job in starting to come up with more events for our downtown. City can't do everything. We need to partner or need the partnership of our businesses downtown to help bring the business into our community. And I think the Angola Coalition is going to be a great part of that.
And Joe?
And finally, I would say, it's always all about a cause, okay? People rally behind a cause, okay? That's what it is. You want to drive traffic downtown, you want to bring people off the lakes, they have to have a reason to come down there, okay? Their cause might be they want to buy fresh produce, okay? Let's bring them downtown because we got fresh produce. Their cause might be live it up. They're going to come downtown. So we have to have a cause. We have to have a driven cause.
Okay.
That's what leaders do. They create cause.
Yeah, let's stay on this topic, because we have a question that came in from the audience, and we heard this in the Noble County debates that we had there, too. One of the candidates pointed out that, 25 miles, 30 miles south of us is supposed to be one of the most vibrant, growing cities in America, but everybody goes to Fort Wayne for something to do. And the question that was posed by someone in our audience tonight is, what are the candidates' thoughts about bringing more entertainment into Angola, as many people must often look outside the city to find something to do? Dick, why don't you start us with that? And we're talking about things like road racers and concerts and different things that cities can do,
Well,
even for their own residents. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, again, the Downtown Angola Coalition has been doing a good job of trying to create more excitement downtown with bringing musicians and so forth into the area. The alley arts and the other things we have going with our Steuben County Arts Council is bringing more people downtown. The revitalization of the Brokaw Theater is bringing more people downtown. It takes investment by the owners downtown to help to bring more people in. And when I look out the mayor's window and see that we have a little bit of a parking problem on some afternoons, that's great, because that means our businesses are being filled up and things are going better. And you can see that trend better going each year a little better.
Hold on a second. Joe?
Yeah, a great question. And so, and I know that my challenge with the city is that we always say it can't be done. I just want to stop. That's really what I want to say is it can be done. We just have to figure out how to make it happen. How do you close 20 for an event? Well, you can't close it. We closed it for the cruise-in, so how do you get it closed for another weekend? How do you close it for an event when you have a concert? As the new mayor, guys, I'm going to figure it out. I've got great relationships with a lot of people down in Indianapolis, okay? We've got a great relationship with Suzanne Crouch. I mean, and she is a phone call away. Suzanne, I need the street closed so we can have an event in the middle of our town. Yeah, well, I understand we got 20 that runs through the center of it, and she's going to make it happen for us.
Okay. And Dick, back to you.
I have those same phone numbers, and they work very well with me, too. I've worked through several governors and lieutenant governors over the year and gotten along very, very well with them. And they know more about Angola now than they did 25, 30 years ago. They know where Angola is. They know what's going on. A lot of that has to do, I'll be quite honest, with Representative Denny Zent. Denny Zent's done a great job in getting the lieutenant governor and others up here. But while they're up here, they're talking to me and my administration. Whoever said we can't do it, I don't hear that in our administration or people downtown. We can do it. We just got to figure out how we're going to do it.
Okay, great. Our next question is going to be posed by Mike Martorella, and we're starting off with Joe.
This question was emailed to me from one of our local residents who could not attend tonight. He says, this is from Harley Dodge, and he asks, given the fact that Tryon University is growing and has introduced activities that bring people to town, that several hotels have stepped up and invested in our area to provide accommodations, and we have several manufacturing businesses that are growing, what specifically do you see that as mayor you can do to encourage Tryon University's graduates to stay in Angola or the area and raise families here?
Sure. Hopefully you guys heard my heart on child care. and I don't even want to feel like I need to broach that again. But unless we have great childcare, they're not going to stay. Okay. I was fortunate enough to have my daughter move back here. She moved back here from Nashville. I almost said why, because I love visiting her in Nashville. But I'll tell you what, they leave here because quality, okay, quality of place. All right, that's why they leave. They leave here because of quality of place and what is provided for them. So what do we need? We need more bike paths, okay? We need more infrastructure. We need jogging trails. We need to, partner with our YMCA and create a splash pad. We need all of these things. We need great parks in our community. We need to have a place so that people feel like, it's a gotta or wanna, okay? That's what it is. It's a gotta or wanna. I either gotta go live in Angola or I wanna go live in Angola. And I wanna create an environment where people wanna live here.
Dick.
People do want to live here, and we are doing everything we can. And working with Trine University, we're working with the Steuben County Economic Development, we're working with the Northeast Indiana Regional Partnership and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation to get the right kind of businesses here. One of the reasons Angola Innovation Park has been developed out there, the businesses we want to bring out there, we want to bring our higher paying job, but we're not going to just open it up to anybody to come in if they're going to just be paying $12 or $14 a year. At this point, we're going to be a little picky. Bringing in a new business right now is kind of difficult because we can't fill all the jobs that are available in our county now. Fortunately, the businesses that are here are raising their rates because that's what they got to do to be able to draw attention to get the right kind of kids to our community. We're going to work every day to try to keep Trine University students here.
And I would say that to work every day to keep Trine University students here requires the mayor to be talking to the Trine University students on a regular basis, finding out what it is, what is it that they want, what is it that they want that's going to keep them in our town. And I understand it's good paying jobs, so then we need to make sure that we're bringing good paying jobs into our community.
Our next question, we're going to start with Dick, and Lisa will be posing the question.
We're going to move now to quality of life questions. Angola already sponsors a variety of festivals, concerts, and other events like the Cruise to the Monument to bring both area residents and visitors to the city's parks and downtown area year-round. If elected mayor, do you have any plans to expand on these quality of life endeavors?
Well, we work on quality of life all the time. That's just one of the things that you have to do anymore. We're working to try to bring more bands into our parks, but it costs money, so we're going to be talking to industries and businesses about helping to sponsor so we can have more bands in the park. Those are great events. Those are family events that people want to come out to. I know we're kind of in talks with the Y right now as they're looking to do some things out there with the new building, and maybe we can be a part of helping put a splash pad in creating a better quality of life. Again, everything that we do in pretty much in economic development has to do with the quality of life to bring people back here. We're working, one of the reasons we started the Mayor's Youth Council is so we could find out from the youth, what is it that will keep you here or bring you back to our community? And time again, I hear people that are starting to move back going, I'm moving back to Angola because this is where I want to raise my family.
So 350 kids, okay, in our school system, 10 years. There's 350 less children in our school system today than there were 10 years ago. So it actually is reducing, okay? We might have people moving into our community, but it's quality of life, okay, and it's quality of place. That's where the hiccup is right now, guys. It's when they look at it, I mean, we're talking about these investments in our community. We're talking about, our city hall. We might be talking about our police department. We might be talking about our fire department. But what I would say is this, okay? Whenever somebody brings somebody to our community, okay, and they're trying to get them to move to our community, what they don't do is drive them by our police station. They don't drive them by, they drive them by the things that are great, okay? That's what people do. If I'm a realtor, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drive them by the quality of life places. So let's create some more quality of life places in our community.
Dick.
A couple of months ago, I had a couple come into my office, and they said, we're moving here, and we want to talk to you about what's available in Angola, Indiana. And I said, okay, where are you coming from? Hawaii. I said, you're moving here from Hawaii? Usually we kind of talk the other way around. No, we're moving here from Hawaii because we have friends that live in Angola, and they told us what a great place this was to live and how affordable it was.
Okay, thanks. Another question from our audience in the quality of life area. Why don't we start off with Dick on this? Our city provides a few programs for underprivileged children, such as Summer Rec and Shop with a Cop, but there are no athletic assistance programs for them to participate in, such as AKL. What is your solution to providing athletic equality among all children and opportunity?
Well, I think our Parks Department that the summer programs we have are pretty much open to whether they're handicapped kids or not. We're trying to provide what we can. Again, as I told you earlier, we're looking into a new type of playground that would be available not just for handicapped kids, but those that don't have handicaps that can enjoy it also. So we're looking more and more into that. Again, one of those quality of life things that you don't necessarily think about until you kind of see something out there and you go, wow, we need to be doing this in our community.
Let's add a little bit about, as far as like any other ideas on youth sports and that kind of thing. They're talking about athletic equality, expanded youth sports or opportunities. Any other thoughts on that?
Well, one of the youth sports that's being expanded on here that really doesn't have anything to do with the parks is Lloyd Ball. He's got his sports academy going out there, and I believe it's once a month. The clientele from Rise are able to go out there and play volleyball and learn how to play volleyball, and that's just kind of one of those things that, you start moving in the community, and hopefully something else will come along or somebody else will come up with another idea of what we can do to get all people involved in our community.
Joe?
Sure, thank you. Collaboration, guys, that's how you make it happen, all right? It's the easiest way in the world for a leader to walk into another leader's office. Last year, it was probably 18 months ago, a gentleman came in, maybe even 2 years ago, a gentleman came into my office at the dealership, said, hey, we want to buy new bulletproof vests for the police department here in town, and I need you to write a check. How much? That was my answer. That's what I asked. How much do I need to write? Well, here, we need you to buy 2 of them. Okay, well, here's a check. That's what collaboration does. If as a businessman, okay, in our community, if we know that there is an underserved population, the business in our community, they give, okay? As your mayor, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up the phone, I'm going to reach out to local businesses, and I'm going to say, hey, we've got some underserved children in our community, let's serve them. And they will. We got great businesses in our town.
I think that's probably right, that they will, but they're getting hit on a lot of things. We're asking our businesses and industry to look into helping with child care. We're looking at them to help us with the housing problem. We're looking at them to invest in a lot of different things. And they'll do everything they can, but I don't think they can do everything we want.
Okay, our next question is, Joe's going to lead us off, and Mike's going to pose the question.
Okay, this is going to be a combination of a couple questions that I have here and one combined with one from one of our audience members. And we've touched on this a little bit, but I think hopefully we can take this in a different direction. It's no secret that child care is a problem in Northeast Indiana, and it's impacting our workforce and the ability to bring people here. What role do you feel the city should take to help combat this issue, and what specific action can a city take to solve it? Also, should public money be used in solving the daycare and preschool shortage that we have?
I don't think that we really have a need for public money. There's always a place, I mean, when you're talking about hard dollars, I mean, am I going to take your tax dollars and provide for child care? We have already our trustees in our community, and our trustees in our community have money that's available. Okay, the problem is the money's only available for level 3 and level 4 child care facilities. So people, they open up their phone, they look for the level 3 and the level 4 child care facilities in the city of Angola. What do they find? 0. Okay, so we can't tap the resources that are available to us right now because we have not created the environment of great early childhood learning. Okay, so as the leader, that's what we're going to do. We're going to tackle that issue. All right, of how do we create an early childhood learning where we can use the funds that are already available.
Dick.
Okay, and I agree. I don't think we can use public money, because then you're picking and choosing winners and losers when we have several groups around that are providing this. What we have to do is be able to help them find grants. We have to give them support. We have to be advocates for child care of all kinds, because it's not just the early childhood care that's needed. If Fairview didn't go out of business now, there would still be 900 kids that are underserved in this county that are not getting child care. We got to look at this long haul. And the places we're talking to that have been working on this for several years saying this is going to be one difficult thing to pull off because we haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard, okay? That's why you want me to be your mayor, okay? Because I'm ready to take the charge, all right? I'm going to lead in this, all right? I'm going to lead in this path. So I'll make it happen. I know how to make things happen.
Our final two questions before we get our closing remarks, we're going to go on to the area of housing. And Lisa's going to pose our first question. Dick is going to start us off to talk about housing issues.
Do you believe that the city has sufficient affordable housing? And if not, how do you plan to work to address the need if elected?
Well, we probably don't have enough affordable housing. We don't have enough housing, period. And we are working again with several groups in trying to figure out just how we can move this faster. You need the contractors. We have great local contractors that can only do so much. It's getting harder and harder to find contractors out there that have the help that can build the houses that we need. This is a problem in Angola. This is a problem in Kendallville, and this is a problem in Fort Wayne. We are working every day doing what we can to try to get the legislature maybe to come up with some ideas to help us out on how we can broaden our efforts into bringing new residential areas to our community. And part of that might be through tiffing and tiffing residential areas and make it a little easier and less expensive to put in the infrastructure to help them be able to recoup their money.
So the job of a leader is to remove hurdles, okay? That's what we do, right? As we lead, we remove hurdles. Our city, okay, puts hurdles up in front of businessmen, all right? I hear it in the business world. They tell me, we put hurdles up. Our job is not to put up hurdles. Yes, we want excellence. I want excellence out of our builders. I want great things happening for our builders. When I walked in certain areas, I noticed that, you know, people can't put a good lawn in. We need excellence so that people can put a good lawn in their house. You know, so the builders need to be held accountable, but at the same time, the job of a leader is to remove hurdles, find out what the hurdle is, and get it out of the way.
We're working on hurdles again all the time. We're working with the Northeast Regional Partnership and the High Performance Government Network and how to get the permitting basically the same in every community and every county in the 11 county district here. So that if you go to Kendallville and are going to build a development of some kind there, it's going to be the same rules as if you go to Angola or Steuben County or DeKalb County.
Yeah, I just think that what we need to do is not worry about what they're doing in Kendallville. What we need to worry about is the bad ordinances that are on our books right now that keep people from growing their businesses. Get rid of the bad ordinances. That's what we have to do. That's what leaders do. They look at the bad ordinance, get it written off the books. Let's make it easy for these guys, okay? We got plenty of businessmen out here. I see them out here right now.
Okay, our final question, Mike will be asking it before we do our closing remarks.
Cities often talk about senior citizen housing, but as people are living longer, there is a growing focus on housing for people who are 55 and older, which often attract a more affluent resident. What would you believe is the greatest housing need in Angola? Is it single-family, apartments, co-ops, condos, 55 plus, senior citizen housing?
Wow.
Sorry.
Yes. No, I would say if we want to increase our tax base immediately, let's get the 55 plus people moving in here. Because that's an easy, it's kind of your low hanging fruit, right? You get people in here that have good tax base, they're gonna be paying their bills. I mean, they buy $150,000, $160,000, even if it's a duplex, they love it, they put granite in it, and, you know, they've got a great place, and they're gonna start paying their taxes, you know, and not really have a drain on our economy. You know, bring kids in, yeah, there's a drain on the economy. You got schools, all the other things. But, yeah, that's where I would go immediately, but I think that it's, you know, you gotta find that, there's a balance.
Yeah, and I think that balance is you really want to bring housing here that's going to allow families to come to fill our schools back up, to build that tax base. And these are going to be people that are going to live here for the long haul and be paying property taxes and utility bills and so forth. So, yeah, like Joe, you need to find that balance. But I do believe in the construction area of housing, you kind of find your own level, and you just got to work with that. Right now, it seems to be the single family is what people are buying and what they're looking for.
And Joe, rebuttals?
Nope.
Okay, great. Okay, terrific. We're going to do our closing remarks, and Dick will be going first in his 3-minute closing remark, asking for your vote.
Okay, thank you again, and thank you KPC and Trine University for arranging this debate tonight. So you've heard tonight the differences between Joe and myself and what our views are in the future of our community. What Joe wants to do is going to be costing a lot of money, and I'm not sure where some of this money is going to come from. We want all these things for our community, but we have to be realistic on where the money can be spent. I think that this community is in really good shape for the future. We're ready to grow. We're growing in business and residential and industrial. But we're not perfect, and we keep working toward that. And every day, somebody in our community, I think, is feeling better about living here because of the work that's going on in our community. You've seen the job that I've been doing for the last 18 years as mayor. And being the mayor of the Angola is a full-time job. I work at it 100%. I give a 24/7, 365 effort every year. And if I'm elected and re-elected as mayor of Angola, I will give you that same effort the next 4 years that I've given you in the last 18 years. Several things that are different between Joe and I have proven what can be done. I ask you to think about the results that have been done in our community, and I ask you to go just take a drive around our community, take a look at it, look at our services, look at our streets, look at our neighborhoods, and realize what my administration and our city employees and our citizens have done together to make things better. But the one big difference that you will see around our city is the results that I have been able to get accomplished through our city employees and our residents and the Trine University partnership and the partnerships we have developed with NDOT and other agencies within the state, as well as our state and federal elected officials to make things happen in our community. The future for Angola is bright. The future for this community is nothing but being able to grow, but we have to understand things are going to take time. And this, the youth care did not just happen overnight. People have been working on this for a long time, and they still don't have the answers, and they've been involved for years. Yes, we can figure this out, but it's not going to come quickly, and it's not going to be cheap, and we need to change the culture of understanding child care is going to be costing more and more, and we need to be prepared for that. So ladies and gentlemen, I ask you to take a look at what we've done in the past, and then I ask you to imagine what we can do in the future together. I ask you for your vote on November 5th. Thank you.
And Joe.
Thank you very much. And I just want to just thank everyone who's really, truly made tonight so much fun. Gosh, my last debate might have been 8th grade or something like that. I don't know. The newspaper, which I've said over and over for the last, for all the time that I've been here and advertised in there, I believe we need a newspaper in our community to survive and to thrive. Every good town needs a great newspaper, and thank you for what you guys do for us, because I know it's hard right now. The university, Dr. Brooks, your team here, your professors, your students, I mean, you guys have truly decided to take the road less traveled when it comes to creating a university here. I mean, the things that you guys have pulled out of the ground. are just amazing. And I'm just blown away. So I just think tonight, I want to thank my wife, Libby, because she makes me brave. She really does. And guys, I really want to thank God, because he's the one that put the love that I have in my heart for our community, okay? Because I wouldn't have it without it. And so I hope you had a chance tonight to see inside my heart the individual I am. And I'm reminded of a quote 3,000 years ago, a guy that was kind of like me. And he stood up and he was talking to these officials and these nobles. And he said, after he looked things over, he said, "Don't be afraid of them." This is Nehemiah. Don't be afraid of them. Remember your God, who is awesome and mighty, and fight for your sons and your daughters and your wives and your children and your homes. Guys, Dick's right. I might not have all the qualifications that he has on paper to be the next mayor, but I will tell you this: I will fight for you. I will fight for your families. I will fight for your sons. I will fight for your daughters. And I will fight for this child care. And I will fight for a sidewalk on North Wayne Street. And I'll fight to close 20 when we want to close it down and have a party. Right? Because that's what mayors do. I'm running for mayor of Angola in the city of Angola. My name's Joe Hysong. Vote for me on November 5th. And we're going to change this world.
I just want to thank everyone. Again, my name's Lou Phelps, and I'm honored to be the CEO of the company that publishes the Herald Republican. It is not an easy day to put out newspapers. It is not easy to get them delivered to you in the middle of the winter, and I know there are times when some of you would like to take our head off. But I thank you so much. We are so honored by your readership in print and digital. We are so honored by your loyalty. And what an amazing turnout here tonight. Amazing questions coming in. What a great place we have. And we're very fortunate to have such great candidates for mayor to lead the city. I want to thank you so much for attending and honoring us tonight by participating. I want to thank Mike Martorello and Lisa Long. Lisa, some of you may not be familiar, we are the regional business newspaper too. On top of everything else we do, there's only 2 business newspapers in the state of Indiana, the Indianapolis Business Journal and the Greater Fort Wayne Business Weekly, which we hope you'll subscribe to, or at least digitally. We work pretty hard every day, 7 days a week, and we have a great team. And I want to thank everybody in our company that helped us tonight. Again, thank you to Trine, to our viewers. We've got great traffic online tonight already, we know, watching this live. So thank you so much, and to our candidates. Thank you, everyone. You're welcome. Yeah, thanks. Terrific. Thank you, everybody.